Hello, hi, how are you today? In this video, I want to talk a little bit about a heavy duty topic, and that is the human spiritual illness that a lot of people feel. Now, these are things that we call mind, body, spirit. These are when people want to address mind, body, spirit. A lot of it has a physical effect. It can physically affect your body. That's your body. Your mind, that's your mental health. But the origin is actually spirit and spiritual disease. When it comes to spiritual disease, that means your spirit is not at ease, but it can actually go really deep. And what I find is that there is an extreme at each end. And at the one end, it might be very mild things, and at the other end, it's very severe. Now, what if this had to do with how you function on a day in and day out basis? Do you feel fatigued? Do you have weird pains, aches, pains, pokes? What is your lifestyle? Do you feel that you generally eat healthy and yet you still wonder, why am I feeling like this? Are you waking up at night? Are you feeling like you have a sense of being very tired, but you're wired up? You have energy and yet it's not serving you. You're still tired. Do you wake up tired and start to feel exhausted right away, even if you tried to get 8 hours of sleep? Well, this is all changing, and there is a way to address it. And we address this using your brand new chakras. Your chakras are the energy portals to your body. And these are sometimes suppressed, or there can be an ancestral reason that this is here. I'm an intuitive and I can help tell what is the root cause of this. But even better, we start to get to that root cause and start budging it, moving it, removing it, and being done with it and getting you on track. Now, people, when they have this for a prolonged period of time, can really begin to wonder what's happening with them. There are other things on the emotional spectrum of what could you experience. On the one end, you might feel anger, short-tempered, irritable, impatient with people, wondering why people are stupid. And sometimes they're not stupid. You're just perceiving it that way because you're angry. You're feeling that on that end of the spectrum. All the way to crying, weeping, having little crying jags here and there, having things where you're just saying, oh, well, I don't know why I'm crying, but this is welling up from a really deep place. Yes, there are deep things. That is why we address it at the root cause. Your nerves. Okay, let's talk about your body a little bit. Do you feel very heavy in your chest area, like there's a weight there, or on your shoulders? Or does it sometimes feel like a little bit of brain fog, but you feel a heaviness in and around your head, and you're just maybe feeling a bit scattery? You're not sure why. You felt like you slept, but somehow it's just not really serving you. And you still feel this weirdness. You feel like a slight tension. Well, these are your nerves. So let's talk about your central nervous system. Your nervous system has several sides to it. You have the sympathetic, you have the parasympathetic. These are for your waking and sleeping states, essentially. But if you haven't slept properly, what's wrong with the one side? If you have a lot of activity during the day, what is with the other side? What are some of the other lifestyle factors? Are you required to take some medication? Are you on antidepressants? So some of these things are very life-affirming things. They can help improve the quality of your life. But what if you're wondering, will I ever get off of this? Will I get the real help that I need to remove the cause and do it? So with your nerves, you can have aches and pains. Sometimes this goes with age, but believe it or not, you can feel better for your age, of whatever age you are at. There are ways to do this using your new chakras. Sharp shots. Have you ever felt sharp things like that feel like a needle going in you and you go, ow? And you feel it in your head, or you feel it in one of your extremities, or it's like something poking you. That is a very common sensation. That is actually a form of neuropathy. And you can also have pins and needles sensations, numbness, and other neuropathy, lupus type symptoms. Some people wonder, do they have lupus? Have they had some kind of a bite? And sometimes it's the nervous system. There can be a certain degree of autoimmune deficiency that your nervous system is experiencing, that we want to reverse that, get the healing energy in there, get it fixed, get it repaired, let your body do what it naturally wants to do, which is heal itself. Emotional. Now, there are more emotions than just crying. You can feel very raw, and it just feels like every which way you turn, you're not getting the responses from people or from the world or the universe that are helping you. You feel raw. You feel taken advantage of, wounded. You can feel and experience depression. That too has a spectrum. Everything from clinical depression, where it is affecting your organs and the function of your organs, like they're being suppressed, to mild situational, hey, it's a cloudy day or it's a Monday and I just feel like it's a rainy day and Monday, I have the blues kind of situation. It's lighter, but it's still there. How would you ease out of that? How would you ease out of the level where that isn't happening to you monthly? Now, some of these things are not simply your hormones. These are also ancestral illness. It has to do with patterns that are handed down through your genetics, what your ancestors experienced and why they experienced it. It could include droughts, famines, nutritional deprivations. You're the generation that fix it. You should want to fix this for yourself and for your children and the people that you care about. Dreams. Now, this one's a real kicker. The dreams. One of the really important ones in human spiritual illness is the nude dream. Do you have dreams that somehow you're nude, you're exposed, you're raw? You're in a situation and suddenly you look and you're not wearing any clothes. You thought you had clothes on, but somehow, what is this indicative of? Well, some of what it's indicative of is new skin, but not just your outer skin. It has to do with, you need new nerves, new myelin sheathing, the parts that coat and protect your nerves so that things are not getting on your nerves or on your very last frayed nerve. The nude dream. Dreams of being attacked. This is also a biggie for people. Being attacked, a house invasion, people taking your stuff, sensing that there's people coming nearby and that they will attack you. This is a very prominent dream in this illness stage. Now, you may not feel like you're totally ill. This is a thing that baffles the medical community. They could check you and say, well, things are okay, or we see a little bit like maybe you need some vitamin D, and it is metaphysical. That is my gift. I'm an intuitive, and I have a modality that is intended to help you. Losing teeth or losing limbs. This is another one of the very extreme dreams that people can have. You feel like you've broken out teeth, your teeth are falling out. You have other dreams where you've somehow lost a limb, you lost a leg, or you will lose a leg, a foot, a hand, a finger, etc. It can feel relatively minor, like you're just observing it in this dream and going, oh no, I just lost a tooth. But in reality, your mind may panic about this and say, what does this mean? Why am I dreaming of losing a tooth? What is the significance? What should I do and how to do it? So what we help you with is, I have a 3-part webinar class coming up. It is for 3 Sundays in a row, starting September 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. We teach you how to ascend and up level because we want to get you up. We want you up leveled so that, number 1, you're feeling better. Number 2, you're not still down at that same level. We cannot fix these problems at the level they were created. You cannot fix the problem that it was created at when your ancestors first had that pattern in their genetics or in their experiences, or both. We have to get you up so that it is not harming you anymore. And I have the ways to do that. One of the ways is through, yes, meditation. We do meditations. They're very specific. They're very effective. And they are very lucid because they will create a situation where the healing is ongoing. How to overcome addictions. This has to start for a lot of people. Now, for some people, that addiction is again, somewhere on a spectrum. It may not be severe. It may be something very socially acceptable like coffee. Coffee is very socially acceptable. People socialize over it. There's coffee shops all over. The earth needs a break from all the coffee growing. Sometimes that happens. It drives the prices up because wherever it can be grown, it's being grown. Maybe you need to just stop that madness for a little bit. How would you do it? How would you say goodbye to something that you love? Or is it something severe? Are there addictive behaviors and tendencies in your families? Those tend to run in families because it started in the ancestry. Do you come from people that, traded or transported or smuggled some type of drug or alcohol or something like that? It could be alcohol, it could be opioids, it could be cigarettes. In my experience, in the 15 years I've been doing this, cigarettes is one of the most insidious things there is to try and get rid of. And the damage it causes, not just to the nerves, but let's face it, there's a lot of secondhand smoke that can damage and cause collateral damage to people around you. Just look at the wall in a smoker's house. It's loaded up with like a dark resin that is from the nicotine. Nicotine is also used to get rid of pests in gardens. They use that. So imagine how toxic it is if someone's doing that. How would you overcome this? Well, believe it or not, the mechanisms inside the body and the mind-body-spirit connection are exactly the same for coffee as it is for cigarettes, as it is for alcohol. The damage is more severe. The harm and the wounding and harm to others, that is on degrees of severity. How to get over and heal the neuropathy and other damage from addictions, okay? Because it's one thing to give it up. What happens after that is the next steps, which is that the body will need to detox and kick it into high gear. Do you have a way to go through some of those steps? Because any of these things that you're getting rid of, you're going to detox. It's that simple, but it's not that easy, but we make it easier to be able to purge that out, do your detox, follow along, and use all the tools that we are teaching you to be able to do that. Healing the patterns, the behaviors, and the reactions, okay? If you have these kind of things, emotional reaction, and then you're reaching for, like it becomes a whole vicious circle, right? You're reaching for something because you felt something or something was provoked in you, then it pushed your buttons, then the people around you, and then so you reach for, and it just kind of goes in this vicious circle. Let us help you get off that wheel and really begin to do this for good. Now with your new chakras do not want to hold any of these things. So how do you get from being either a user, a victim, someone who feels very fatigued every day, to being empowered and getting back on track? I would say to you, please join us. Get rid of these wounds. In some ways, blaming and shaming is not going to work. You might want to blame your parents. You might have had a toxic childhood. We want you to make a quantum leap here, get into some quantum healing levels. And so please join us. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.